Hello everyone and welcome to this week's preview. Caulfield this week. Can't wait to get stuck into it. We're over the spring carnival now. It's back to just the normal benchmark races and the occasional handicap of the Saturday meetings as we see how we went last week. 4 out of 10. Still didn't make profit though. The winners that we got were pretty short. The highest price winner was Golden Decade at $3.40 up there in Sydney for Nash Rawiller. Hopefully we can get some more winners this week. We'll start with early cash, trying to find the winner from races 1 to 3 around the country somewhere. Could be Victoria, could be interstate. This week it's interstate, and I think they've got the price wrong of Gawler, race 1, number 6, Heir of Tavistock. Now this horse resumed first up in a benchmark 64 at Mount Gambier. Was caught wide, no cover that day over the 1200 metres with 58.5 kilos. Now goes up in class to a benchmark 78, but gets in with the 52.5 kilos for Jacob Opperman. Maps well from the gate, and as long as it gets cover from gate 3 this start, it should see an improved performance, and up to the 1500 from the 1200 should be running strong. It's now time for my plays of the day from Caulfield. My plays of the day from the last 2 weeks haven't been great, but I think that's due to the rain affected tracks and skewed results. But we move on to this week. Should be a good track, so hopefully that means I can nail a few. So we'll start in race 2 with number 6, Grand Piero. Now this horse ran 2 weeks ago on the wet or the rain affected Caulfield track, and it doesn't like soft ground. It's 3 from nothing on wet tracks altogether, soft and heavy. Before that was storming home from the back behind Clyde Moore and Red Sun Sensation in an on-pace dominated race on 1000 Guineas Day, and even before that was an Ararat Cup winner. So I think up to the 2400 metres now, I think it's about 6th up in its campaign. Will Price gets in with the 51.5 kilos, which I really like. From gate 1 should be getting a good map. In the small field, I think it's the way to go. My next play of the day comes up in race 3 with number 3, Piaggio, trained by Greg Urell, to be ridden by Celine Gaudray, taking the 2 kilos off, bringing it down to 57.5 kilos. This horse resumed first up at Sandown when it sat on speed and was no match for Toronto Terrier, but that's a very good horse. Beat home a horse called El Soleado though, who I've got an opinion of. If you go back through its form, El Soleado beat Who Dares, and Who Dares has since come out and proved itself as a good horse. So it's got some good form lines. This horse stepping up to the 1600 metres, I said it would be a positive because it's won at that distance before. Looks to roll forward from gate 10. I think it has to. Should lead or settle outside leader. And hopefully in an on-pace dominated race, it's too strong. Moving on to race 6. A benchmark 70 over the 2,000 metres, and I like the return win of number 7, Blue Moon, last start at Moonee Valley. Didn't think it was its track, but it stormed down the outside late to win with the 60.5 kilos. I think getting onto Caulfield suits this horse. May have a bit of second up syndrome, but the format of this race last start at the Valley has been good, with Let Fly, who ran 3rd, coming out and winning again at the Valley. Aria Electra runs today at Caulfield, so it'll be interesting to see how that horse goes. But Blue Moon from gate 7 should get to about midfield or so. Carleen Heffel sticks with it, and I think it's the one to beat. Last play of the day comes up in race number 9, an open handicap over the 1400 metres, and I'm with number 9, Dubai Poet. I was with this horse last week at Ballarat before it got scratched. I was confident on it there at double figures, and I'm confident on it here at single figures. I just think it maps ideally and the race suits it ideally on this occasion. So it gets the blinkers on for the first time. It's coming off a 6-week freshen up off a run on Melbourne Cup Day behind Peshero. 6-week freshen up doesn't fill me with a great deal of confidence, but we'll keep going. Blinkers first time I really like. Gate 2 can settle right on speed or just get a cozy run in general. Jamie Carr goes on, which I like. 54 kilos on the minimum I like in these open handicaps, especially around this time of year and in the winter. I think it's the one to beat. We'll move on now to Drum Kit. Trying to find the horses that can be backed each way that are double figure odds. So we'll start at Caulfield, race 5, number 5, Palanco. Now this horse has come off a bit of a freshen up, and it's back to the 1200 metres, which it hasn't raced at for a while. Is a bit of a 14 to 1600 horse, but back to the 1200 fills me with a bit of confidence for this ageing horse. John McNeil going on as well, I think, is very important because that's a an upgrade of a jockey to Maddie Lloyd, who rode it its past 4 occasions. So I think the distance and the jockey combined make it over the odds at $21. Next up for the drum kit is race 6, number 3, Vasme. Now, I'm not quite sure why this horse is at 2,000 metres, but I like what Nathan Dunn has done, because he had a chance to go to the benchmark 70 over 1,600 on the same day on Saturday. A distance where this horse is much more confident at. Has never won above 1,400, this horse, but he's put it up to the 2,000 metres. I reckon he knows something that we all don't. Should roll to the front like its normal racing pattern. Tatum Bull takes the 3 kilos off. She's been in outstanding form lately as well. Was pretty poor last start behind Blazing Rebel and Montatha, but it was a good SP on that occasion. Before that, chased Holy Mans and Gregor Limo at Flemington, running third behind those 2 horses on Oaks Day. I reckon it's over the odds. My last drum kit comes up at Eagle Farm with race 1, number 7, Red Zeus. I thought this horse was over the odds. It's had some pretty decent form. Formerly trained by Tony and Calvin McAvoy, ran some pretty good races down here in Victoria, ran 7th behind I'm Lovin' Ya at Morphettville in a listed race only last autumn in the 2023 year, obviously. That's what I'm talking about when I mean last autumn. And throughout the winter at Doomben, it had 1 run and it wasn't great. Now has been gelded, which I really like. Damien Thornton goes on, draws gate 6 for a good run. I think it's over the odds. We'll move on now to the quaddie, and last week was a write-off because it was looked like a heavy 20 at Ballarat, and it took away a lot of our quaddie selections, which made it very difficult. The only one we got right was Taunting, but I probably would have put a few others in if I had have done the quaddie on race day. But we'll move on to this week, going a bit wider, but trying to get it because I haven't got one since we've started doing this. So race 7, number 3, Jambalaya, number 5, Oak Hill, number 9, Trustfall at odds, and number 12, Ginger and Pink. And then in race 8, number 3, Bel Air, number 4, Tasman Park, number 6, Helix, number 8, He's Handsome, and number 14, Naval Seal. Moving on to race 9, number 4, Bermudez, number 8, Our Redonte, number 9, Dubai Poet, and number 11, Ton of Grit. And in race 10, number 4, Carpo Strata, number 7, Prowling, number 8, Boldinho, number 11, Lafargue, number 15, Sandy Prince, number 17, Kin, and number 18, Show High. Both those bottom 2, 17 and 18, are both emergencies, I should say. So that's why I've put 7 in that race. Just in case one of them gets scratched, it'll put it down to 6 or 5 for that race, which makes it a little bit more realistic in terms of getting a return on what we outlay for the quaddie. We'll now move on to around the country, obviously trying to find the winners around the country. I only found 2 this week, but hopefully they're both winners because I'm pretty confident on them. So we'll start at Randwick with race 6. I like number 10, Boston Rocks. Now this horse showed plenty of ability last preparation, running second to Cheerful Legend at the Kensington track. Now first up, last run was in August, so it's first up. Gets in on the minimum with Tim Clark. From gate 3, should get a cozy run on speed, and I reckon it's got class aplenty and should be winning this race. And up at Eagle Farm in race 7, it's actually a Group 3 race, I'm pretty sure, over the 2,100 metres. I'm with number 1, Felix the Scat. I thought this horse last start at Doomben just didn't get any favours whatsoever in terms of the early work it had to do. Now draws gate number 1, so draws to do no work. Is fitter 4th up to the 2,100 metres. I really like its chances. We'll now move on to the Get Out Stakes, trying to find a winner from the last race around the country somewhere. And I've gone to Ascot for this one. Race 9, number 7, Comfort Me. It is the Damien Oliver Gold Rush. So good luck to Damien Oliver on Saturday at Ascot. Group 3 over 1,400, and I like this horse, Comfort Me. Ran in the Railway Stakes last start, was caught 3 wide, no cover on speed. From gate 3 on the weekend, looks to get a much better run. Gets a big weight swing on the winner of the Railway in Bustler, and I reckon Comfort Me is over the odds and the way to blast out in the last on Saturday. And just to quickly recap the winner of Last Man Standing for this, short period that we've been doing it, maybe 6 months or so. It's Sammy. Sammy won in the end. The boys tried to beat him with some big bets, but couldn't do it. I think we all finished in the red, and Sammy finished well in the green with about 3,000, so good on Sammy. If you want to join up for next Last Man Standing that we do, which would be maybe January, February type thing, then just message me through Twitter. You don't have to pay to play. It's all free. It's all for a bit of fun. And yeah, do as you like. We'll now move on to Sunday session, trying to find a winner from the Sunday meeting in Victoria. And we're racing at Bendigo on Sunday, and this horse has been highlighted in the trial show, which I really have an opinion of. Race 4, number 3, Otago or Otago. It's a bit short, but I think it's a really good horse. Draws gate 3, should be getting to around midfield or so with Bo Mertens in the saddle, and I think it'll be really hard to beat in the 4th at Bendigo. So that's going to do it for my preview for this week. Those is a recap. That image on the screen is a recap of all my selections. If you want to see my full race selections for Caulfield, just follow me on Twitter, link in the description, or just look at the YouTube community tab. But until next week, which will be the next preview, bye for now.